Hello friends! So this week I started the animatic for my Futurama project. And I started the animatic a little bit last week just to demonstrate the principle of how you might create one using rough drawings, and in my case very rough drawings. And this week I continued with it. And it's worth saying that the quality of the drawings isn't important for this. This is a one-man animation, so the drawings are really only for me, although I am sharing it with you, but just so you can see the process I'm going through. The temptation would be to make them look better, as I am sharing, but that isn't the purpose of the animatic, and nor should it be. I'm building it so I can see an overview of the animation, to help me spot any problems and decide what I need to draw and animate, and where possible to not animate. After all, I'm trying to complete this project in as short a time as I can. Partially because I don't want it to drag on for weeks and weeks, but also because it's a bit of a test bed, to potentially work on the rest of this Futurama episode, but also to see where I can take shortcuts while animating for other projects. So I could actually just use stickmen to work out the placement of all the characters, but I decided to go with scribbly sketches, clear enough so I could see who they are, but not at all worried about them looking good. So before I started anything in OpenToonz, I took some time out to watch a few episodes of Futurama to try and get a feel for the staging used, which I think helped me plan out each scene, and I certainly felt more comfortable choosing the layouts. But again, you can see I've used just very rough drawings, just so I know which characters need to be in which positions and in which locations, which will help me when I start the actual drawings. So to start with, I left the opening scene, as it shows everything I want. We can see the outside of the Planet Express building, and there's a little bit of movement with the animation tool. And then I deleted all the sketches in scene 2, mainly because I was starting to get bogged down with colouring backgrounds and animating parts of the scene, and basically making it too complicated too quickly. So I thought I'd start again, and deliberately used a single sketch layer and minimal camera movement, and combining that with my intention to make my drawing scratchy, I could concentrate more on the staging and timing of what I wanted to see, which worked out pretty well. And this gives me a good base to review the pacing and add more detail on a second pass. So I hadn't drawn anything previously for scenes 3 and 4, so again I just added a single sketch layer and rushed through the sketching. And once this was all done, I exported the 4 scenes using the task list in OpenToonz that I set up last week. Then opening up my video editor, the 4 exported scenes were already in place to be exported as a single video file. So very quickly I was able to go from focusing closely on the detail of a single scene to viewing the whole 4-minute intro as a single video file, which gave me a better overview of the animation. And from here I can already see some changes I want to make. So here's the animatic so far.
Good news, everyone! I've invented an instrument that gives the user the ability to control remote electronic devices.
Hey, that
Sounds
cool.
useful.
Most interestingly, it's biotech in origin.
Yeah, right.
It was not manufactured. Oh no, it was grown in a petri dish.
Oh, you gotta like that. Hey, wait a minute. I'm an electronic device.
Indeed, I've fashioned it from the DNA of a long-extinct dolphin-like creature's front appendage. I call it a flipper. Observe.
In our top story, all wretched and puny planets such as this one will soon face complete annihilation.
So I'll just cut in here for now and talk over this last part, just to keep some mystery to some of the story. So the final reveal will be more interesting for you. Okay, so I don't need to have a super neat polished animatic, so long as I can understand which characters and backgrounds I need, but I will make some changes to it to fit the pacing better and to reduce some of the long drawn out shots of the same characters. And also so I've got a final, more complete piece to reference as I draw up the assets needed for my animation. And finally, I want to make some changes to not use the camera, but instead to use a column for the camera like I've shown before. And this means I can use the actual camera column for the final piece, but still see the camera movements for the animatic. Plus, I'll be able to see them side by side as I animate, but you'll see more of that as I do it. And that's what I'll be doing next, so I'll see you next week with the final animatic, and that's a guarantee.